Hello, my name is Mark Bisbecos.
And I'm Devin Singh.
And welcome to my video. Today, we will be recreating the iconic and the infamous Popeyes Chicken Sandwich. We got the ideas from Nick DiGiovanni, specifically the recipe and the general idea for this video.
As you can see, we are in a kitchen supplied by one of our gracious cameramen, Brandon Harden. And we're also joined by our other cameraman, Thomas Johnson. They will be our judges for today, who will be trying out the chicken sandwich. We're going to be making the bread, the chicken, and the sauce today.
But first, we have to get the ingredients, which is a lot of stuff, to make the chicken sandwich. We'll also do a short review of the Popeyes chicken sandwich itself.
Let's go get the chicken sandwich.
Let's get the ingredients.
Strawberry lemonade.
And then I'll have a strawberry lemonade. Some biscuits would be nice. You too. Alright, so I'm gonna take this. Alright, so this is the Popeyes chicken sandwich from Popeyes. And I've actually never had Popeyes chicken sandwich before, so I'm gonna try it. So I'm gonna do my first impressions, and it actually looks really nice. The bun looks really shiny, crispy, but that chicken does look quite nice. And honestly, it smells good. The texture feels pretty good. So yeah, I guess we're gonna take our first bite.
See, I've had Popeyes chicken sandwich before. I already know what I'm expecting. I'm just trying to fathom the biscuits because I want to try to eat it without it, like, you know, killing me.
This thing is drier than Arrakis, and people who've seen Dune, you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right, so
first test.
Let's try it out. Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, that is good. Oh my god, that's really good.
You get that flaky, like, crust in there.
Yeah, and it's really buttery.
And it's plain. We actually went to the Popeyes. It was really understaffed, and they just gave us the chicken.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no pickles. There's no sauce.
It's just a plain, simple one. But for our purposes, we're actually gonna make the sauce, and we're gonna add some pickles on it too. So yeah, we're gonna add the little element.
One of our cameramen actually has one with sauce. So we have one with sauce and pickles.
Hey yo, we got the sauce.
Like, yeah. Here, hold on. Let me finish. All right, no drink yet. I haven't taken a drink yet. Let's go.
Oh, the Popeyes biscuit. Are you suffering from this?
No.
That's our review of the Popeyes chicken sandwich and the biscuits.
These biscuits are actually fake. They're not dry, like really dry. They're just.
All right, now after our review, let's begin cooking.
Now after that montage, we have our ingredients here. Most of them actually. So today we're actually making all of the stuff, we're prepping all the stuff today, and then you'll see us in probably different clothes tomorrow, actually making the sandwich together. So right now, I'm going to make the chicken and brine the chicken. Okay, so we have our chicken here, all right? We have these 3 good pieces of chicken that we actually bought from Kroger like an hour ago. And we're actually gonna cut them into fillets, and we are gonna like make them a little bit thin so that they go into so they can get covered with flour and they can go into the fryer a little bit easier. So first of all, I'm gonna take one of these and move this off to the side, and I'm gonna put this right here. You can see that it has like a little bit of fat there, but that's perfectly fine. It's gonna go away when we fry it. And I'm just gonna cut this little thin piece off, like right here, just like a little cut off like the edge, like a little. See that? And then we have that little piece right there. You could probably feed to your dog if you had a dog. All right. Now that they're all cut into like what seems like a little bit thick pieces, I'm going to actually put this knife back into place. And I'm gonna put this green saran wrap over it. All right, we're gonna take this saran wrap over here. We're just gonna get that nice and sealed. Then we're gonna take them out and get your rage out. And there we go. One decently sized chicken fillet. All right, now we have our perfect looking chicken fillets for fried chicken, which honestly, they look really nice for fillets. We have to actually make our brine, which we're actually gonna do this overnight. So we're gonna have a bowl right here, and we are going to fill it with about 2 cups of buttermilk. Well, 2 cups of buttermilk per fillet. So about 6 cups of buttermilk and 6 cups of pickle juice. All right, change of plans. Change of plans. We're out of vinegar and water. And then we're gonna mix it all together. So this basically pickle juice and brine. It basically just adds that little zest at the end. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, and we're gonna put in our fillets. Still beautifully cut. We're just gonna put that in right there. Let it sink to the bottom. We're gonna just stack it right there. And they are completely, if you look right now, they are completely submerged into the bowl. If you can see, like they are, like you can see from the bowl, like we have them all completely submerged. We want this to be overflowing with the buttermilk and the pickle juice because, of course, obviously we want it to soak in all that flavor, and we want the flour to stick on the chicken. So, all right, that's enough of that, and we'll stick it into the fridge overnight. Open your fridge.
Now, let's get the bread started off. The first thing that we're going to make is a tangzong. To start it off, I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of whole milk into the bowl right here. All right. And then after that, I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of buttermilk into the pot. So I'm to the buttermilk right here. And then I'm going to pour 2 tablespoons. So 1 and 2. All right. And after that, I'm going to turn the heat up to medium high as it is already going right now, and begin to whisk it. So I will take my whisker right here, and I will just simply whisk it. Okay. And you can't really see this right now, but it's the milk is starting to separate and really get the results that we really want out of this tangzong initially. As of right now, it's starting to bubble up a little bit and really start to take shape. Now, gonna stop for a little bit. And then I would be doing this as I'm whisking, but obviously I need to get the all-purpose flour ready to go. And then I'm going to take roughly 2 tablespoons of flour, and I'm going to sprinkle it in there. So 1 and 2. And then I'm going to start to mix it around, and I'm going to mix it until it is nice and thick on the mixture. As you can already see right now, it's starting to clump up a little bit initially. Obviously, we wanted to get to where the powder has basically mixed along with the milk itself to make it really nice and thick and what we want out of this. Wow. All right, so now after we made the tangzong in the mixer bowl, I'm going to put 3/4 cups of lukewarm whole milk, which we have right here. There it goes. After that, I'm going to sprinkle in 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. So I got a little bit of a sugar powder concoction right here. Pop that right in. Then I will slowly whisk the sugar to make sure it blends well with the milk. So obviously you want to make sure that you obviously can't see it. That's kind of the point of it. I mean, just gotta make sure everything blends super well. All right, so now that I have slowly whisked it, and now it's had a good chance to blend with the milk, finally I will add a tablespoon of active dry yeast, whisking as I pour so it disappears. So I still will continue to whisk it, but you can see right here, this is our active yeast, tablespoon, actually to the dot, a tablespoon, right here. Put that bad boy in there. Okay, now we'll continue to whisk it. Make sure that gets completely blended in with the mixture already in there. So now after I've mixed it completely, I'm going to let it sit for roughly 5 minutes. As I can see here, got my timer ready to go. Now the yeast has had time to mix in, I'm going to pour in 3.5 cups of bread flour and then a pinch of salt sprinkled on. So the 3.5 cups of bread flour, I'm gonna put that in. Okay, that's all in. And the second one, the 3rd cup. Now I need to get the 1/2 cup, as you see right here, to the other 1/2 cup, and then I'll finish 3.5 cups of flour. And there we go, 3.5 cups. Now I'm going to start to whisk it. And as I whisk it, you're gonna take some of that salt and you're just gonna sprinkle it in right there. You can see right now it's starting to clump up a lot. I'm actually having to strip it apart from the whisker. And I make sure that you want to make sure it's at the very bottom too, because you don't just want it to be at the top, obviously. You want to make sure everything is being able to get clumped together and ready, but also you want to make sure that it doesn't stick. That's very, very important, because it'll be a lot harder to get the mixture out of it. All right. Once it starts to come together, I will put 1 full egg and plus 1 egg yolk, and then the tangs on. Then I will continue to whisk. All right, now that it is in the mixture itself, I'm going to put 1 full egg and plus 1 egg yolk. So as you can see right there, it's 1 egg plus 1 full egg yolk. And then I'm also gonna add the tangs on that we made earlier, as you can see right there. So I'm gonna place that right in there. Then I will continue to whisk. Make sure to scrape the sides right here. Now the machine's gonna whisk forward. Now that it's been able to actually mix more, we're gonna slowly place pieces of butter into the mixture itself. All right, now that the butter has been fully placed in, we're just gonna let it mix with it and make sure it does not stick on the sides.
Right, so the dough didn't go exactly as planned. So I am actually like fixing up the dough, making it a little bit more, because it's getting a little bit dry. So I'm just gonna try to roll it around and just try to get that back into shape. As you can see, I actually floured my surface away earlier than this. It's so I can get the dough right all day on hand. And yes, I'm wearing an apron because it's flour. I don't want to get it on my clothes. So now we have a little bit of flaky dough, as you can see. All right, now that we have our dough, which did not mess up this time around, I'm gonna pinch that off real quick. I'm gonna pinch this off at the end because you can see that little crevice right there. And I'm just gonna throw this into a grease bowl, which is just gonna mix that around, like throw that around, toss it around in here.
So heads up, we actually used the pan baking for our grease. So if you want, that's also a reference to, I think you can probably use oil, but I would prefer grease just because it's just more convenient.
All right, now that you see that the flour is in here, we're gonna leave this in here overnight, and we'll come back to it tomorrow.
Before we actually let it sit, we need to take a damp towel to put over it to make sure that it will not overflow and go over the sides of this bowl. Though this bowl is pretty big, I don't think it should go over the edges. All right, so now after we have the dough done, you're going to place a damp towel over it and let it sit overnight. Now typically you can do it for roughly an hour to an hour and a half, but since for our sake, we're actually gonna do overnight to make it a little bit better. So not only are we letting the bread sit overnight, but we're also letting the chicken brine overnight to make sure that it actually tastes better. So tomorrow we will actually be cooking the rest of the Popeyes chicken sandwich, then having Brandon and Thomas blind test it.
So it's a new day, and we had let our dough rise. I checked it, I took a piece out just to see if it worked. I'd used this bench scraper just to see if it could be able to make it into a bun-shaped form, and it can. So what we usually do with the dough after this is we just cut it up into 4 pieces like I already did here. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna start peeling this, like the edges into the center. So like right here, we're just gonna take this and just put that in the middle, okay? We're gonna try to make that into a little bit of a ball. And I don't know if they can hear, if the camera can hear the oven going. We'll roll there. We wanna get that little nice bun shape, like that. See that? Look how good that looks. All right. I think that's good enough for now.
It's basically like, it looks like one big biscuit almost. But obviously this is going to turn into the bun itself. But yeah, so because the same color and texture of a Popeyes biscuit conveniently, but we're actually making the buns. All right, so eventually you want it to look like this, the general layout of all the dough. And then we're actually gonna wait until the oven is done heating up. Then we're gonna cook it in there.
I'm gonna actually douse this in all in oil. I'm just gonna pour a little bit of oil onto this. Right. And we're just gonna brush it around. Just for a little bit of. You gotta make sure that gets in there all the way. We're gonna do the rest for these 3.
All right, so now that after you have the actual dough oiled, then now you want to put it into the oven.
Okay, now that the oven's ready, we're gonna put the through in here. So right now, we're gonna bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 40 minutes, or until brown.
All right, so now we're gonna make the sauce. So obviously what I have here is some mayo. Obviously you can make your own mayo, but we don't have the right equipment to make the mayo today. But obviously, personally, I would make your own mayo. I think it tastes better, tastes fresher, but for this scenario, we are going to use mayo that I purchased from Kroger. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that in there. Just get a decent amount. Maybe a little bit too much in there, but you know what? It's all right. And I'm just gonna make sure, kind of mix it around. Make sure it's nice, flat, and even around the bowl. And then you want to take some chives, open up a little bit, and just take some and just sprinkle it. It doesn't need a lot, just need to sprinkle it around. All right, I would say honestly, that's a good amount of chives. Mix it around a little bit. Then you want to add in the lemon peel. Lemon peel, you could add stuff like this in, or you could actually take a lemon itself and scrape off the skin of it to make it more of a lemon peel-esque kind of stuff. So then you want to take that. Yeah, so lemon peel, lemon zest. You add a little bit of lemons in there if you really want to. But honestly, the sauce itself isn't, that complicated. I mean, you can make it as ornate as you want to or as simple as you want to. It's literally just putting mayo on there. But yeah, so you're just gonna mix this around a little bit until the herbs are nicely mixed in with the mayo. And it's nice and delicious looking like so. All right, so now that we are letting our buns cook, we have our chicken, our paprika, and our mixture. So now basically, I'm gonna take some paprika, I'm gonna just sprinkle it into the brine. The chicken has been sitting overnight. Honestly, the longer you brine the chicken for, the better it tastes. So now I'm gonna go in here, you can feel the chicken. Just gonna mix it around in the paprika, in the mixture. Now obviously throughout it, you still wanna maybe add a little bit more paprika, but you wanna make sure that this can actually help stick to the powder and make sure that the flour sticks to it and that you can later on fry it and allow for it to actually get that nice flaky flakes on the outside of it.
Pro tip, if you want to have a little bit more crispy chicken, you can take some of that buttermilk mixture and put it in the flour to make clumps.
And remember, when you're handling raw chicken, don't touch anything else. Immediately wash your hands afterwards because food poisoning, salmonella is not a fun thing to experience.
So the next part is basically we have our spice mix here with allspice, poultry seasoning, turmeric, onion powder, chicken rub from Jack Daniels, normal pepper, garlic seasoning, oregano, some Parmesan Romano, chives, and some regular salt. And we have this all together to make that little spice mixture. So we're gonna take that, we're gonna just spread it all around here.
Man, that smells really, really good. So obviously I'm gonna sprinkle in a little bit more paprika just to make absolutely sure that the paprika gets all over that chicken, because you wanna make sure everything sticks. You don't have any issues with the chicken at all.
As for the mixture, I'm just gonna try.
All right, so now that you have, the chicken has, it's pretty mixed with the milk. Now what you wanna do is you wanna take the chicken and just make sure, kind of mix it around in the powder, make sure that it sticks to the chicken itself and it stays on there. So when you fry it, it makes the flakes that the Popeyes chicken typically is known for, and just fried chicken in general. So
make sure it's completely covered.
Yeah, completely covered. So something like this, and make sure every single edge of this is completely covered. And then obviously we have two other examples, two other chicken breasts. So we're gonna do it 2 more times after we finish this one. And so as you can see, Devin is making sure that every single corner of this is covered in the powder itself. All right, and after you're done with the chicken, you wanna put it on the plate just like that. And right now we're putting it right there just because we're gonna transport it over to the fryer, or the fryer, obviously, to the fryer next. Remember, as I mentioned earlier, after the chicken is fully done like this, wash your hands before you handle anything else for safety.
All right, so we have our bread buns here that I actually cut. We took out of the oven. They're a little bit deformed, but they were actually pretty nice. They're flaky on the outside because it's based off the flour that we used, and overall they actually look kind of nice for bread buns. They smell really good too, and we have the little creasings where we folded it back. We obviously didn't smooth it out that well, but it looks pretty nice,
Yeah, I mean, obviously comparing it to the actual sandwich itself, look at the bun on the top, obviously there's a pretty big difference. But typically, if you did this right, you want to have that nice little brown glaze on top, making sure it looks like that. But what matters mostly is the taste of it. Obviously, if you're just going for looks, then this is a complete failure. But hey, you never know, it might work really well with the rest of the sandwich.
Let me give this a good taste. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Okay, so we are gonna be double frying the chicken, and we're gonna fry it on medium-high heat and then fully high heat. So we have our oil with our pan set. We don't actually have a fryer, so we're just gonna go right into it. I just looked at the underneath of the chicken. It's starting to get browned a little bit. It's looking pretty nice. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that chicken. Look at that chicken. I can't flip this thing. I'm trying not to spill the oil on myself. I wasn't trying to really real myself, but I told you. Everywhere. I can't like take that out. We're gonna let them rest for a little bit while I will take this up a notch to high. You can see that chicken's looking a little bit already. You can see that there's like a nice outside crust, but we're gonna get a little bit more golden brown. So let's start again for 1 minute. So first, we're gonna take our buns here and we're gonna put a heap of our sauce. We're just gonna spread that around a little bit. Just get that all nice. A couple pickles, you know, a couple to, you know, top it off. Yeah. Put the bun on top. And then we have a Popeyes chicken sandwich.
There it is. The Popeyes chicken sandwich. Now we're gonna have our judges try them out. But this time we're actually gonna blindfold them so they don't know which one is which. And honestly, I mean, they're probably gonna be able to tell, but it's whatever. Yeah. That's a Popeyes chicken, the actual Popeyes chicken sandwich that we were attempting to recreate. Now let's see if we can actually recreate the chicken. So the bun and maybe the sauce. Let's see. This is a hot mess. Okay, you're a hot mess. This part looks good, right? This is all right.
We only have one part. I'll take that one part actually if you don't want to include it.
It's fine. I'll keep it in here. All right, so now
it's falling off. Can someone retie it?
Yeah. So I put Alex in front of you. Don't touch it yet. Obviously.
Okay, can someone
And then
What did you hand me?
give me a hand. 2 fingers. Alec.
Who are you talking to, bro?
It's falling apart. Oh
I can.
Is it good? Is it bad?
no! It's in 2 pieces. On a scale of 1 to 10. 7.5.
Oh, that's not bad.
Let's go. All right. What about you, Alec?
I give it like a 6.
Okay.
The sauce is pretty good.
Okay. Hey yo, look. Hey yo. We're not chefs.
What did I
This
just
is a
put in
good
my
thing.
mouth?
Okay, you put in our chicken with the regular.
No, what
base
was in
sauce.
my hand?
Probably.
Bread.
Oh, is that what this is?
That's why it's stale.
All right. Now. And
What are you doing to me?
And
And?
3, 2, 1.
Oh, God. Uh-oh.
Brandon.
fire.
I taste some mayonnaise. Oh. Why is the chicken so tough?
Yeah, mine's tough too, huh?
So, which one do you think it is?
Is this one?
I wonder.
So, is it Popeyes or is it ours?
I think this one's Popeyes.
Yeah.
This
Considering
was
it's not falling apart like our lettuce.
No, the bread is a lot smoother too.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Yep, that was Popeyes.
I'm still eating it, so of course it's
That was-
Popeyes.
that was- yeah, you can still eat it.
But the chicken is tougher.
It is.
It's more.
So we've won. We've won. Okay, we've
I like
won in
the
the
other
sense of
sauce better.
chicken.
Hey!
You like the other sauce better?
I like the other sauce better.
Hey, let's go. That's a
Another
win.
half here than there is.
All right, so now if you
Oh,
had
that's
to,
big, that's big.
if you had to rate it from a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this chicken?
8.5.
8.5. What about you,
I
Alex?
give it like an 8.
So better overall than.
Yeah, so better. Now, okay, you've had your review of both chicken sandwiches. So now, which one would you choose?
Popeyes.
Popeyes. What about you?
Popeyes, but the sauce you guys made is better. I like the sauce.
So we won in the matter of sauce.
The thing was, Popeye's sauce was more bland, you know? It was kind of just mayonnaise.
Just mayonnaise. Okay. Okay. So the verdict is our cooking sucks and you like Popeyes better.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a fat L. All right, so I just tried the Popeyes chicken, well, our attempt at a Popeyes chicken sandwich. Overall, I would say I did like Popeyes better, but I will give props to myself. I actually did like the chicken. The chicken was quite moist. The flavoring was really good on it. The sauce was actually quite nice. The bread was well, not that good. It was rubbery. It was hard to bite into. Popeye's bread was 10 times better because it was softer. It was a lot better than ours. So overall, I would say I would still eat Popeyes, but definitely if you can fix the bread and the breading on the chicken, because it did kind of come off a little bit, I definitely would say it's a win. So that was the video. Thank you all for watching this catastrophe. Overall, Popeyes Chicken Sandwich recreation a failure, but hey, what else we can try some other time? Maybe pizza, sushi, ramen, whatever you want to do, yeah. What do you think, Devin?
I'm choking on the bread.
Choking on the bread. Well, thank you all for watching. That's been the video. It's been Mark Bisbecos and Devin Singh, and goodbye.